everyone, welcome to a new video, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about some products that I am not gonna buy. Yes, I'm doing another anti-haul, and where my first anti-haul was palette specific, there's definitely a couple of other things in here that aren't just palettes, but I'm going to warn you in advance. This is mostly about makeup palettes because I love a good makeup palette, but I also know that I don't need every single one that is released. So I'm going to be talking to you about 10 products that I have decided that I'm not gonna buy. And the first one is going to be the Anastasia Soft Glam Eyeshadow Palette. When I first saw the pictures of this palette, I was like, yes, that is so up my street. I love that. And then I saw that it had Dusty Rose and I was like, yes, I'm gonna buy this. And then I looked at it. And I looked at it again, and I looked at it again, and I browsed a couple of pictures, and I was like, but wait a minute, I already have a couple of these shades in my Modern Renaissance, and it's pretty much Modern Renaissance, but without the fun red shades, which if you've seen my warm tone palette video, you know that I love the Modern Renaissance precisely because it has those red tones. So I was like, isn't just a little bit bland and boring? I mean, I get it. I get why they put out this product, and I get why they put out this palette, because I think that for someone who likes very neutral makeup, who really wants to do just everyday looks, people who do bridal makeup, I think this is the palette for those occasions. But I actually am really looking to venture out a little bit more out of my comfort zone with my eyeshadow this year. In 2018, I really want to wear a little bit more color on my eyes. So that said, should I then really be buying a very neutral, boring eyeshadow palette? I don't think it really serves a place in my collection. Even though I am still very much lusting after Dusty Rose, I have that as a liquid lipstick, and I love that thing to death. It's one of my favorite kind of tones to also wear on my eyes, so I could definitely get down with this type of palette. This is something you can reach for every single day, but do I really need it? I don't think so. So that's why I'm not going to be buying the Anastasia Soft Glam. Now, second on the list, I'm not sure whether I should be doing this, or should I, maybe the statement I'm going to make is a little bit too bold, but Colourpop eyeshadow palettes. Why? Like, I get the hype. Everybody's buying these puppies up, but they release like one every single week. I have no clue which one to get. They all seem to look very much alike. And I'm like, no. If I'm then going to be buying Colourpop pressed shadows, I'm going to buy individuals and I'm going to be making my own palette rather than buying a pre-made palette, which while they are affordable, yes they are, while they are very gorgeous and the quality definitely seems to be there, with the amount of releasing that they are doing, I have no possibility to keep up. I mean, I'm still waiting for Colourpop to do like free shipping internationally so I can get a couple of things from their website again. But if they're not doing that and they just keep releasing all this stuff, I'm like, it's just stressing me out. I mean, this is not a good thing. So I'm like, hey, Colourpop, your eyeshadow palettes, I'm going to pass up on them for the meantime. Now, a palette that really didn't make it onto my radar in 2017, but then I saw Stephanie Nicole and also Jen Loves Her Makeup talk about this palette quite a bit in some of their videos that they did towards the end of the year, and that's the Colored Raine Queen of Hearts palette, which I see now is on Beauty Bay, so I could get my hands on that. And I looked at it and was like, it's a bunch of warm tone with a purple. Do I really need that? Again, I have so many warm tone palettes and I have a very hard time wearing them because I'm so fair skinned. Do I then need Colored Raine's Queen of Hearts, which is a black owned makeup brand, so of course their pigmentation is going to be, you know, just hitting it out of the ballpark. But is it really makeup that is tailored to me? I don't think so. I'm going to let this one slide and I'm going to believe that it's very, very super duper good quality. But I don't think that this palette in particular is something that I could get away with. Another palette that I definitely put on my wish list at first is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I mean, who isn't going gaga for that palette? I see so many people raving about this, and it seems to be everyone's favorite thing. And again, this is just like the Anastasia Soft Glam. I looked at it again, looked up some swatches, and I was like, no, I'm not going to get this. It has 4 fun shades all the way in the left-hand corner, and that's about it. So why should I be getting this palette? Because it's, again, a bunch of shades that I already have in other palettes that I already own in my collection, and the only unique selling point of this palette is 4 shades out of the 35 that are in there. But another, this is even a reason why I don't own any of the larger Morphe palettes, because just the sheer amount of shadow that's in these palettes stresses me out. I wouldn't know how to make a look with that because there are just too many options. And in the Jaclyn Hill palette, I mean, I'm sorry if you really love this palette, but don't get me wrong, it seems to have a lot of shades that are very similar but have a slightly different undertone to them, or they are in the same color family but then one has shimmer and the other one doesn't. Unless you're a makeup artist, you have absolutely no need for that kind of thing. At least I don't. So I was like, you know what? Morphe, Jaclyn Hill, no, I'm not going to get you. Another quite new release by Too Faced is the Too Faced White Peach palette. Now, I'm not even going to discuss the Life is a Festival collection that is out now, because that just doesn't pique my interest in any case. So I don't think I need to anti-haul something that I already knew I wasn't going to get when I first saw the pictures. But the White Peach, when I saw that popping up, I was like, ooh, that is something I might like. And then I looked at it, and I looked at it again. I was like, again, these are shades I already have. Too Faced really needs to stop doing the same thing in all of their palettes because it's getting boring, you know? I got the peachy mattes, and I think if you already have that, the White Peach just doesn't really add anything to your collection. So it's just not something that I'm really, really going to be needing. So unless it's like on sale, I might still be tempted, but I don't think so. I can't do an anti-haul with it without including some Urban Decay palettes. Again, they have been going gaga with releasing palettes. I can't keep up. The Distortion palettes only just made it to the Netherlands, so that is out now. And while I have seen quite a few people who are really liking this palette, I don't know. I don't think I would wear it very much. You have 5 Transformer shades at the top, which looks a lot of fun, but I just think that in the end it's going to be a little bit too gimmicky for it to really add something substantial to my collection. Love the packaging, I love the way this looks, but no, I don't think this is going to be something I will actually use. And the second palette by Urban Decay that I would like to anti-haul is the Kristen Leanne palette, like the one with the crazy layout and the crazy colors. Just because of that, I'm not going to get it. Like I said, I do want to get more colorful eyeshadows in 2018 and start wearing them more. That's definitely a goal that I have set for myself. But I don't think this is the palette for me. I don't really see how I can make a cohesive look with it. I don't really see how I can, like, you know, if I want to do something with like a color and a neutral, I'm always going to have to pull in something differently. And I just don't think that it's going to be the palette for me. It has a couple of shades that just don't really go together for me, and then there's that crazy layout, and then I'm just like, nah, it's just, even if the quality is amazing, I know I will not be pulling this out to use it on a regular basis. So this is just not something I need. Apart from eyeshadow palettes, I also would like to anti-haul some other things, as I mentioned, and the first product that I need to anti-haul is Dior Highlighters. I already own a couple, and they seem to be doing them every single year now. Every limited edition collection of Dior has a limited edition highlighter in it. And the one for spring 2018 is absolutely gorgeous. It's so pretty. I swatched it many times. It has glitter. It seems to be a little bit dark for me, so And thirdly, do I ever really use my other Dior highlighters? I don't think so. I'm that type of person that if I buy something that's very expensive to me, I end up not using it because I don't want to mess it up. So for instance, if I were to buy a designer bag, which is the reason why I don't own any, because I would just be too scared to scratch them, to ruin them, to do something with them, to lose them, to break them. And the same goes for these Dior highlighters. I don't want to mess up the pretty pattern at the top. I don't want to break them so I don't travel with them. I don't do any of the sort because I'm too afraid to break a $60 or 60 euro. I think they're that expensive by now. 60 euro highlight. I can't get myself to do it, so why would I buy more if I don't already use the ones that I already own? So there's just no point. I would like to also anti-haul a couple of just entire sections of makeup products that I know I just have no interest in, or that I know that I just won't get the use out of. Catrice and Essence are putting out lip palettes for their Spring/Summer 2018 collection. Do I need a lip palette? No, I don't. How are you going to touch up your lipstick halfway through the day? You need to like carry around this huge thing? No. And I mean, sure, it's fun to be able to mix and match and like do your lips that way, and especially if it has that like creativity behind it, I think I might be able to get down with it. But a lip palette is really something you only need if you're a makeup artist, in my opinion. So without further ado, I would like to anti-haul any lip palette that is ever put out. I've never been really into them, even though they sometimes have the prettiest colors and it's very tempting. I'm tempted by it. But I know it's just a product that I don't need and that I won't use. So that's why I'm anti-hauling lip palettes. So the last product I would like to anti-haul are face palettes. I have a few, and to be quite honest, again, like with lip palettes, I don't really use them very often. So I like to take them with me when I travel. But the problem with face palettes is just that there are always going to be shades that I can't use, that are too dark for me or too shimmery, or the blush just doesn't mesh well with my skin tone. Whatever it is, there's always going to be something that I can't use. And I'm quite satisfied with the selection of face palettes that are currently in my makeup stash. I have a little bit of highlight palette, I have a contour palette, I have a few things, so I have my options. I have a bit of high-end, I have a bit of drugstore stuff, and I'm like, I think I'm good. I don't think I need any, unless somebody's going to bring out something like revolutionary. Then I think I might be able to get down with buying a new face palettes. But unless there is not that much going on, I don't really see the need why I should have more face palettes. So without further ado, I'm also going to be unhauling face palettes. So that's the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it and that you are not offended by any of the products that I anti-hauled. Makeup, I think, is a very personal thing, so please don't be offended if I listed some of your favorite products that you absolutely adore. These are the reasons why I'm not getting any of these products, and I just think it's really good to think about the things you do and don't purchase. Set yourself a budget and stick to it. It's that simple. So I really hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe because I make new videos every single week. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!